Hey, Preston, good seeing you again here. Just got back from the NYC trip. I know you guys got back a few days ago. Are you recovered from that yet?
Yeah, I think so. I've been traveling quite a lot over the last really 6 weeks or so, a couple of conferences and a couple of other trips thrown in and out of there. So I think I'm finally level setting back into Florida, back to the million degrees, but at least it's windy over here.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah, I've been on the go a lot the last couple months too. So I'm getting pretty traveled out. Wisconsin's pretty beautiful in summer. So I kind of want to stick around here in the few short months that we have.
The few pretty months during the summer.
So I know like the NYC NFT conference was not something that you were originally thinking about going to. What made you guys end up going to that one?
Yeah, so a lot of the reason was we knew a lot of people that were going to the conference, and we figured that, like, even early on, we figured it would probably be a good opportunity for us to go meet some of these people in person. It really wasn't until we were chatting with Shima, though, a week before the conference that we decided to go. And that was largely because we've been making a lot of great progress with them in terms of our working relationship and our partnership. And they had a couple of events that they were going to be hosting and attending, and they were pretty enthusiastic about meeting us in person, Peter and Hazel particularly. That was enough for us to say, I think it's probably worth it to head up there just even to meet them, let alone the other contacts that we had there as well. So that's what ended up tipping the scale in the favor of going. Manhattan's pretty cool also. I guess it's not the worst place in the world.
Yeah, it is a very fun city and there's so much to do, so many people around. And it's cool to actually like finally get to meet a lot of these people in person because I know that we've been talking with Shima for a while and a few other these people, and it's always online through Zoom, through text message, things like that. So like how was it actually finally getting to meet these people and hang out and be in the same room and talk with them?
Yeah, that was great. We were running and gunning that first day because obviously it was the travel day. We had Shima's private event that night at I guess the one of the
Somewhere
best clubs
nowhere.
in town, somewhere nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a beautiful
Um,
space.
Yeah, yeah. It was New York. So I was erring on the side of dressing up a little bit, like a sport.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, New York or otherwise, I feel like crypto events are typically just very casual. So we were a little overdressed, I would say, but I appreciated that. I think it made it a little bit more fun. We hung out at the ground floor, met a couple of really interesting contacts, particularly Cointelegraph. That was a really interesting conversation that we had there. And then we finally ended up running into Hazel, and Peter was really excited to meet us. He's probably been the one that's really grappling with the data that we have the most. So he was super jazzed to meet us in person. And then we had also met one of Yita's friends in line, actually, Ernesto. And we had basically hung out with him all night. He was a really interesting guy. We talking about all different kinds of things in the industry. And at some point, he goes over to meet Yita and pulls me in. And Yita looks at my name tag and he's like, "Oh, Mainline!" And he was like really excited to meet us in person. So I appreciated that warm welcome. And so at that event, we met a couple of their portfolio companies, a few of their partner LPs, investors. And you just had the opportunity to network there. So that was a really great meeting. So that was like night one.
Wow,
And then
that's a lot for the first night. That's super cool. Ernesto and Yita had some good conversations with them. It sounded like just being present at those parties. Yeah, met a random guy in line who also happened to be friends with player that we've been talking with, hanging out with, things like that. So it's funny how small this crypto world can
yeah.
be sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, that was oddly serendipitous, but I was like, yeah, that's great. So that was a great night. And then the next day we had our actual kind of meeting with Hazel and Peter and talked through a little bit more specifics about the way that we're going to continue our partnership and get deeper at the next level. We solidified some of those things. So we were really excited about that conversation. And then that night we had dinner with one of our earliest supporters and advisors, and throughout the night, he took us to Korean barbecue and took us out to a few different places and introduced us to a lot of other really interesting contacts that we'll be following up with as well. A lot of interesting opportunities that materialized essentially unexpectedly in that case. So that was really exciting. And then we were only there for just a few days. Wednesday, we left. So Wednesday morning, we had a final meeting with one of our earliest investors, actually, who's working with a lot of brands and executives and brands, and saw a lot of synergies with what we're doing with authenticity scoring and with being able to help these brands the right types of authentic conversation going on around their efforts. So I think that'll also materialize into something very interesting going forward here. So all in all, I'd say it was a really successful trip. We wrapped it up getting a massage in the airport.
Oh, that's right. You had a little bit of delay, so you had some
Yeah,
extra time. That's fantastic. That's
yeah,
definitely needed after being on the road so much. And isn't that
yeah.
just so cool how all these kind of serendipitous meetings happen to pop up when you're in the same room with these people and you're just having a conversation and someone else, oh my God, you have to come talk to this person. It's the thing I
Yeah.
love about all the conferences.
Yeah, and I think that's what ultimately what got us there. I think like many people in the industry, everybody's being a little bit more judicious nowadays with where they invest their time and money because there's so much uncertainty. But as you say, there's quite a lot of certainty in that if you go where the people are and you collide with them, you'll get a lot of return on those collisions.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess to wrap things up then, what were some of the big takeaways, maybe a few of the revelations, or like where's kind of Mainline setting its focus after all those conversations?
Yeah, I think similar to our last thing, it really voted the idea of authenticity scoring and it being a significant problem for projects, investors, regular people to know who to trust, who they can trust, to be able to see through these vanity metrics, whether it's follower counts or engagement numbers. We definitely got a lot of confirmation for those problems, which they seem obvious on their face. It's when you're creating a product and it can be easy to lose your way and not follow where the evidence is leading. So I think it was really nice for us to get confirmations on that. And additionally, it came back full circle to some of the original use cases of the platform, which was all about really finding things as they were going viral so that you could leverage this organic virality to spread your own message. And so we also got that sort of organically in our conversations. And so that was also exciting because we have a 1-2 punch with our platform where again, the origin story was being able to find inroads into the conversation, whoever you are, and either put stuff into it or get the info that you need. And the other side of the platform now being able to see through what activity is likely to be real versus fake. That was nice. Just again, doubly confirm that we're walking down the right path. And I think that the conversations that we had with Shima and others are really setting us up, setting the stage for us to deliver that value.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like that's what everybody wants. So let's give it to them. And I know we've been making a lot of progress and all that. I could see all the behind the scenes and where things are going, and it's super exciting. Like super cool to see what's about to come out. And I
Oh
think people
yeah.
really, really like it.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's so much stuff that I think even the links are probably open, but we're not like being super public with some of the aspects of it. But I'm super excited for us to start promoting a lot of the stuff that we're doing here. I think it's getting quite useful. I think it's all just distilling it down into something that people can make quick decisions and not necessarily have to be a massive data nerd. I recognize not everybody is like that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's super cool. And yeah, I think you're right. The links they're open, but they're not public. If anybody wants to check out some more of the really beta, what do they call it, alpha then? It's
I always heard of it as a beta. I feel like in the crypto world, there's a lot of alphas. I think we're calling our platform as an open alpha now for a couple months now to start getting socializing interface and the workflows, you know.
yeah, if anybody wants to check out the open alpha, that's always on our website, easy to get to. But if you really want to get into the brand new stuff, then join the Discord and shoot us a message in there and asking for some of those would be probably the only way that they can do right now.
Yeah, it's not like we'd love to talk to the community more about it. If anybody wants any of the special sauce we're doing there, just ask for it. I'm very willing to be open with kind of the current cutting edge of where we're at with some of the things, particularly things like leaderboards and quality scoring of all different kinds of things. So ask away, we're here.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys heard that. If anybody wants to check out some more of those features, then join the Discord, post in the channels, and let us know, and we'll get you into those. And do you got anything else left about the conference? Where are you on your travels right now? Are you traveled out too?
I think I'm traveled out for at least a couple of weeks, which is nice because it's nice to just have uninterrupted focus. So now we can capitalize on a lot of these conversations that we've been having. We've had a lot of really interesting client opportunities over the past few days that fortunately are aligned in what they need, which is, might again sound simple, but it's really awesome when you have a few different people need the same thing, especially when like oftentimes it might diverge a little bit and you can't really satisfy everyone at once. But we're pretty excited about these now. I think we'll be able to unify a lot of our product direction and deliver the value to these opportunities.
Excellent. That's awesome. Yeah, it'll be good to finally get back and really focus on pushing some of this through. I guess with that being said, let's get back to work and see everybody in Discord.